When I moved into my new apartment, I didn't think much about the vents. They were old, dusty, and rattled whenever the AC kicked on. The building was ancient, and the walls were thin enough that I could hear my neighbor's TV through the drywall. His name was Mr. Halden. Quiet, older guy, lived alone, kept to himself. The first week, I barely noticed him. Just the occasional cough through the wall, or the sound of him shuffling around late at night. But then I started hearing something else. Not coughing, not footsteps, breathing, slow, steady breathing, coming from the vent above my bed. At first, I thought it was just the building settling, but the breathing wasn't random. It matched my rhythm. When I inhaled, it inhaled. When I held my breath, it held too. I tried to ignore it, but every night it got louder. One night, around 2 a.m., I heard whispering, soft, raspy, coming from the vent. I froze. The voice said, "You're awake." I jumped out of bed and turned on every light. The whispering stopped instantly. The next morning, I knocked on Mr. Halden's door. He answered slowly, peeking through the crack. His eyes were bloodshot. He looked exhausted. I asked if he'd heard anything strange through the vents. He stared at me for a long time before whispering, "You shouldn't listen to him." I asked who he meant, but he shut the door without answering. That night, I taped the vent shut. I covered it with towels. I pushed my dresser in front of it. But around 3 a.m., I woke up to the sound of metal scraping. The vent cover was shaking. Something was pushing from the other side. I ran out of the apartment and pounded on Mr. Halden's door. He opened it immediately, like he'd been waiting. He grabbed my arm and pulled me inside. His living room was dark, except for a single lamp. Every vent in his apartment was sealed with duct tape and wooden boards. He whispered, "He moves through the walls. He likes new voices." Before I could respond, we heard it, a long, slow exhale coming from the vent above his couch. Then a whisper, "Found you." I moved out the next morning. But last night, in my new place, I heard something familiar. A soft, steady breathing coming from the vent above my bed. And when I held my breath, it held to